Do you hear that? There's a tapping, as of someone gently rapping on my chamber door. What could it mean? Only one thing. It's time for Poe-vember. Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome to Horror and Inconvenience, where things are usually spooky and always weird. Today, I want to introduce an event that I am going to be hosting, just me. I haven't told anyone else about this month. It's called Poe-vember. It's just something I want to do in order to avoid conceding that spooky season is over, because I don't think spooky season ever needs to end. You know, we all shudder at the distant sound of approaching jingle bells at this time of year, and I just think that this is a great time to explore our collective goth theater kid energy, particularly mine, because I am the only person on this screen at this moment. Thank you for joining me. Basically, every Poetry Thursday in the month of November, I am going to be reading a Poe poem, and every Monday I am going to be discussing a Poe story. I'm hoping to make this an annual thing for my channel. So this year I've chosen a theme, and the theme is the sea. However, there actually are not that many Poe stories and poems about the sea. So, as much fun as we're going to have exploring the nautical spooks and scares that Poe left for us, this coming Monday I'm going to be discussing The Fall of the House of Usher, which, despite a lifelong love of Poe, I actually happen never to have read before. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And today, well, there was only one poem that made sense for today. Introduction. This poem is obviously the introduction to a volume of Poe's poetry, and although it's not one of his more famous poems, it is the source of one of his more famous lines, which I'm sure you will be able to spot. But now I just want to share it with you. Romance, who loves to nod and sing with drowsy head and folded wing, among the green leaves as they shake far down within some shadowy lake. To me a painted paroquet has been, a most familiar bird. Taught me my alphabet to say, to lisp my very earliest word, while in the wildwood I did lie, a child, with a most knowing eye. Succeeding years, too wild for song, then rolled like tropic storms along, where though the garish lights that fly dying along the troubled sky lay bare, through vistas thunder-riven, the blackness of the general heaven, that very blackness yet doth fling light on the lightning's silver wing. For being an idle boy lang syne, who read Anacreon and drank wine, I early found Anacreon rhymes were almost passionate sometimes, and by strange alchemy of brain his pleasures always turned to pain, his naivety to wild desire, his wits to love, his wine to fire. And so being young and dipped in folly, I fell in love with melancholy, and used to throw my earthly rest and quiet all away in jest. I could not love except where death was mingling his with beauty's breath, or Hymen, time, and destiny were stalking between her and me. Oh, then the eternal condor years so shook the very heavens on high with tumult as they thundered by, I had no time for idle cares through gazing on the unquiet sky. Or, if an hour with calmer wing its down did on my spirit fling, that little hour with lyre and rhyme to while away, forbidden thing, my heart half feared to be a crime unless it trembled with the string. But now my soul hath too much room. Gone are the glory and the gloom. The black hath mellowed into grey, and all the fires are fading away. My draught of passion hath been deep. I revelled, and I now would sleep. And after drunkenness of soul succeeds the glories of the bowl, and idle longing night and day to dream my very life away. But dreams of those who dream as I, aspiringly, are damned and die. Yet should I swear I mean alone, by notes so very shrilly blown, to break upon time's monotone, while yet my vapid joy and grief are tintless of the yellow leaf? Why, not an imp the greybeard hath will shake his shadow in my path, and even the greybeard will o'erlook connivingly my dreaming book. A poem about feeling too experienced, too tired, too young. A poem about imposter syndrome affecting your very emotions. Well, it's tragically timely. If Gothic romance ever did ebb, it's certainly making a resurgence now. And I think this sense of ageless youth is a part of it. The sense that we feel as though we haven't had the chance to grow up, and maybe won't have the chance to grow up. And yet, youth has passed. So, happy Poe-vember. Join me next week for the fall of the House of Usher, which I'm sure will be equally cheery.